Hello and welcome to a new episode of Startups Weekly at Arctic15. Today we are in Helsinki and these are our topics. Like I said, we are here in Helsinki at the Arctic15 conference and we want to give you a quick overview of the hottest trends here in the Nordics. So let's make a tour.
Has been super exciting for me. I've met a lot of people, entrepreneurs, startups, and well, obviously investors. At Drone Madness, we're trying to revolutionize the drone racing. And so far, every drone racing has been physical, so you have to build a drone, bring it somewhere, and then race maybe with the team and then fly back. So it's super expensive and hard, and you need to have technical skills. What we're doing here is developing a software which will allow people to connect to the racing tracks and the drones, which are in Bulgaria right now, and do this literally from their couch anywhere, let's say in Alaska or Australia, and just race. So obviously one racing track will allow 6 to 8 drones, which will be racing at the same time. But in total, we will have 72 drones for 3 racing tracks. That's our first stage.
Glue Collaboration, it's a universal collaboration platform, which basically means that we can have shared virtual spaces that can be accessed by many users in different regions using different devices. So for instance here, she's talking to my colleague who is in a remote location in Helsinki. She's collaborating with my colleague in a shared virtual space so they can draw together, move objects together and basically have the human presence as we would have basically being next to each other in real life. So with this kind of technology we can revolutionize remote meetings from 2D kind of traditional screen meetings into meetings that we can actually walk in the same physical space.
So Arctic15 is one of the best events all over the world for getting people meet, like-minded people meet and do businesses together and agree on deals, get the investment, get the work done together. And Deal Room, being a platform providing this utility to the people to book meetings in advance, in like 18-90 tables here, above 6,000 meetings for 2 days, bringing over 1,500 people together and arranging all their meetings, their time, their agenda. It works in a perfect way. It gives the value to the people, it gives the job done, and then people are able to follow up once the event finished, to gather up their notes and keep communicating, make the business happen.
Investing in general still is, it is quite local. So you have, especially on the angel side, you have a lot of angels investing into companies who are local, like very close by. Whereas with our kind of platforms, like what Invesdor is, you start to sort of open up this possibility for anybody who's interested about, let's say, fintech investing in Europe or even globally. So you are opening up these possibilities for others to find these sources, because otherwise it's very difficult to find local cases. So what we are seeing is that the cross-border investing is sort of starting to pick up. And we've seen a sort of growth on the cross-border side on our platform. And a lot of these business angel sort of networks are also talking about the cross-border investing more and more. The plan is to bring this digital fundraising experience to the DACH region and creating a pan-European player.
Building a startup is sometimes like building a machine, and if you want to build a big machine, often you need money. On Money Talks, we tell you about the latest investments of the week.
Twitter acquired the London-based startup Fabula AI. The company, founded just last year, has joined Twitter's research department in artificial intelligence and deep learning. Their algorithm tracks fake news based on its share rates. It's believed to be usable across languages and even with encrypted content. Co-founder and chief scientist Michael Braunstein was excited at the opportunity to apply their research to improve content health. Many startups around Europe are working toward solutions for the increasingly complex problem of digital misinformation due to its dangerous implications for both public health and politics. Here are a few examples and their strategies. PayPal has offered strategic investment to open banking platform Tink. The Stockholm-based startup is adding 10 million euros of funding from PayPal to make a total of 90 million euros raised across 5 funding rounds. Since 2014, Tink has gained increasing fundings, with its largest at 56 million euros for their Series D round in February 2019. In a press release, Tink leadership shared they would use the investment to continue their expansion across Europe. The insurtech company GetSafe has raised 15 million euros from Earlybird, Comets Ventures, and previous investors. Founded in 2015, GetSafe is keeping in stride with its competitors in insurtech around the globe. The startup has already claimed 10% of the market for 20 to 35-year-olds. GetSafe offers direct digital consumer insurance powered by their homemade AI. Last year, they sold 50,000 policies from the multi-line platform. CEO and co-founder Christian Wiens was excited about the future of GetSafe following this investment. Here are more companies that made news with their investments this week.
We just published a deep dive from Frank Salzgeber from the European Space Agency, why we need more space. So here's a quick preview, check it out and watch the whole video on YouTube.
When we're looking to the future, the laws has to be changing. And this is the same when we speak about the future of mobility. So we will have new legislations. So the sign will be different speed because depends on the traffic. So we really have to think about what we can do for deregulation. Because the law and the basic principles we have for mobility will not work. And another thing is where you need space is coverage. This is the map of GSM. You see a lot of white spots, do you? Do you want to have an autonomous car or self-flying drone or ship or whatever where in the white spots? Not so good. You only have to drive from Salzburg to Munich over across the border, and then you have for 10 minutes no signal because Deutsche Telekom and Austria Telekom cannot agree who is the owner of the signal. Space will solve this. So we will be solving the 5G white spots worldwide with constellations of hundreds and thousands of satellites in lower orbit. This is at the moment going on. And when we look into future, we think also long term. This is what we in ESA are working on at the moment. Building robots, which we send on a comet, and these robots, like termites, make out of this asteroid a generation spaceship. And after 5 generations, you have a spaceship. Thinking long term and thinking a little bit crazy and wider. That might be the future of interstellar travel.
So that was it from today's show. I'm enjoying now the sun and I hope I see you next week. So until then, do epic shit. Bye bye.